You're out of practice.
What's that? I
Out of
should,
practice from vacation.
yeah, exactly. I've been away too long. Welcome to Monday Morning Dharma on March 16th. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and settle in for some meditation. The most important feature of a good meditation posture is for our spine to be straight and relaxed. Straight like the trunk of a plantain tree, it is said. A straight spine facilitates unrestricted flow of our internal energy winds, sometimes called prana, sometimes called chi. Our mouth is closed, our jaw is relaxed. And if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and softly close your eyes. To begin, I'd like you to please bring your awareness to the exhalation of your breath and very gently allow your exhalation to be just a bit longer and a bit more pronounced than your inhalation. Please feel free to experiment with pausing briefly at the bottom of each exhalation. This meditation technique will allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest, to become quiet and still. Now is not the time to reflect on events that have occurred in the past. Those events cannot be changed, undone, or recreated. Nor is this the time to speculate about events that may or may not occur in the future. The future is unknown to us at this time. Now is the time to be fully present here in this moment. Now is the time to give yourself full permission to enjoy engaging in a practice that's going to bring you a peaceful state of mind and at the same time contribute to the creation of a peaceful world. There is an aspect of the body that is referred to sometimes as the inner body. Some schools of meditation refer to it as the subtle body. And by coming into contact with your inner body, you can make manifest a more supple, tranquil state of awareness. So, to accomplish this, I'd like you to please draw your awareness inside of your body and become aware of sensations. These sensations may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of these sensations and allow a more awakened state of awareness to emerge. To inspire you in your meditation, you may find it beneficial to bring to mind the image of a mountain. The mountain is balanced, grounded, and stable. Moment by moment, day after day, year after year, the mountain simply observes silently. Rain may fall on the mountain or not. The wind may blow. The sun may shine. A small sapling may grow into a giant tree, become uprooted, and fall to the ground. The mountain simply observes silently. No judgment, no labeling, no comparing. no expectation. Be, be like a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body mountain. Now, please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of your physical body and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you're occupying. Deeper and deeper breaths, becoming aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you're occupying. We dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception soon come to enjoy a state of complete, perfect fearlessness. May all beings without exception be completely free from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings without exception enjoy inner and outer freedom. May they be happy, peaceful, and contented. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. So it's so nice to be back to our Monday, Friday classes. Um, as most of you know, we've been going through the Four Noble Truths of Buddhism. And till this point, we've completed, air quotes around the word completed, the first of the three noble truths. I say air quotes because like until we attain complete awakening, it will always be a process. Our deepening of our understanding and experience of the noble truths and all Dharma topics will be a work in progress. So we've been, as most of you know, been going through kind of a traditional presentation of the Four Noble Truths. Um, the first noble truth being you should know suffering. The second being you should abandon origins. Three, you should attain cessations. And the fourth one today, we're going to get into the fourth and final is going to be you should practice the path. And again, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, a lot of shoulds in there. We Westerners don't like anybody telling us what we should do. So maybe put on like a prologue to all of those Four Noble Truths. If you want to be free from suffering, you should know suffering. If you want to be free from suffering, you should abandon origins and so on. So maybe that will pacify our aversion to anybody telling me or us what we should do. Okay. I'm going to talk about the fourth noble truth briefly in a fairly non-traditional sense, but before I do, I just want to share with you something that someone shared with me, a good friend shared with me on my trip while I was away last week, and I heard it and it was like the teaching of a lifetime, or the teaching, maybe a teaching of a lifetime. And what this person said to me, so simple and so beautiful, but I've never really heard it put quite like this. And I'll do my best to kind of represent what she said to me. She said that essentially, she said that nobody, nobody knows my heart better than me. Nobody knows my heart better than me. And nobody can hold my heart with as much tenderness as I can. And what I take that to mean is, of course, the thinking mind always has to like kick in and translate and massage it to sort of fit into my framework for understanding. But like some important takeaways from, I mean, that could be enough. What I just said, I think that could be enough. Just leave it at that. But sort of maybe examining that statement a little bit further, say, we needn't look outside of ourselves for validation of our heart, right? Of the goodness of our heart. And we shouldn't take too seriously outside sources that question the purity of our heart. Nobody knows our own heart better than us. And my friend just said further is that my resolve is to keep my 2 feet firmly planted in my heart, firmly planted, and not leaving it, not leaving it, and staying within the tenderness of my heart because I know it so well. Now, some of us might be tempted to say, oh, well, you don't know. You don't know what appears in my heart, right? Yeah. Like whatever the opposite of tenderness is, sometimes that shows up. And, you know, I would invite you to look back to the Dharma teachings which we've received, not just within the Four Noble Truths, but back, as long as you've been studying, practicing Dharma, you know, those negative states of mind, or what we might be confused into thinking are negative states of heart, are not the true essence of our heart. They're not the true essence. The common term is delusions. They're things that get in the way of us experiencing and enjoying our heart or our mind. You know, the ageless example are clouds passing, you know, and obstructing the sun, you know. Those clouds are just temporary obstructions or obscurations. They don't diminish the strength and light coming from the sun. So it is with the negative things that temporarily obscure our ability to experience this heart, this pure heart, this tender heart. And, you know, I was thinking to myself as I was playing with the idea of sharing this with you that, well, this is like a Buddhist oriented class. I've never really heard matters of heart presented quite like that in the sutras or anywhere else. But it's not separate. It's not separate from teachings. Remember the text that we studied? I think it was not right before In Love with the World. Remember Training in Tenderness? For those of you who are coming, Training in Tenderness and Sewa, the Tibetan word Sewa, Tsewa, Sewa, it refers to warm-heartedness, tender-heartedness. It says that this warm-heartedness, tender-heartedness is the essence of who we are. Look at it as Sewa, look at it as Buddha nature, Buddha seed, whatever you want. It's heart. And if we really allow ourselves to look at that with some humility and with some fearlessness and with some tenderness for ourselves, we'll be reminded that this is who we are, and nobody can know this better than we do. Nobody can know our own heart better than we can. So I think the call is for us to try to remember that and to be the caretakers, not look to anybody else for caretaking of our heart. That might sound like kind of ego-based. I'm doing it all by myself. No, it's like wisdom-based coming home, I think. So, 4 minutes left talking about the fourth noble truth. You should practice the path. I'm just gonna, it's gonna be a lifelong, I think, a lifelong practice of the path. Even for those who have taken, for those who have attained full awakening, they're still on a path. It's called the path of no more learning. So we're going to always be on the path. But I just want to share with you as a means of like closing this session and like talking, talking about the fourth noble truth. You should practice the path. My teacher used to say, and he said it many times at the beginning of discourses that he would give, the beginning of Dharma talks. He would often say, Dharma is the only medicine. Dharma translated to wisdom teachings, right? Wisdom teaching. He says, Dharma is the only thing that can solve our problems and bring us happiness. He said it's the only thing. And when I first started going to those classes, to those teachings, I thought, that sounds like the D word, right? That sounds like dogma. The only thing, anytime anybody says this is the only thing, my dogma radar is activated, right? And I resist. But, over time, I've realized that it's true. It's true. It's the only thing. Wisdom teachings, wisdom-based practices are the only thing that can solve our problems and give us the inner peace that we are seeking, for some of us so desperately seeking. And this is why we should practice the path. Practice the path, and that's what we're going to do. That's where we're headed from. And by the way, just like it would be remiss of me not to provide a little bit more than just an anecdote about practicing the path. Just know that they're practicing the path in Buddhist doctrine, 2 parts to it. Practice during the meditation session, practice during the meditation break. Practice the path like all the time. Even the Dharma of sleep. Yeah, we'll get to that maybe at some point, but it's like practicing the path, not just in formal sitting practice, but also in our daily lives. In fact, it's practice during the meditation session that informs how we practice in our daily lives. I've said before that meditation is dress rehearsal for the main event, and the main event is everyday living. So on Friday, we're going to get into the Lamrim meditations, the 21 Lamrim meditations. Lamrim means stages of the path, as in the stages of the path to enlightenment. We'll go through all 21 of the Lamrims, and then the practice is to go back to the first one and do them sequentially over and over and over until we actualize all of them. And before we close, hang in there with me, you guys, just one announcement before we go. As a means of supporting our practice of the path, you'll remember, what was it, like way back a week ago, maybe our last class, 10 days, a week ago, this past Friday, I talked about the fact that like coming to meditation class twice a week for a half hour probably isn't enough time meditating and contemplating Dharma. So starting next week, I'm going to like open up the center, open up this room, open up this Zoom link for meditation practice on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 9. So we'll have an opportunity to come and meditate together. It'll be guided, a little bit of lightly guided. If we decide that we'd like more guidance, we can do that. But this is going to be another means for us to practice the path, opportunity to meditate together as a Sangha on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8:30 to 9. Won't be a Dharma talk involved. It'll just be 30 minutes of meditation. Like I say, lightly guided unless I hear from you guys that you want more guidance in the meditation. So mark your calendars starting next week. So Mondays and Fridays will continue as normal, but we'll be adding Tuesdays and Thursdays, half hour for meditation.
Should we bring our books starting Friday?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, sure. Well, you can refer to it and follow along with your book. Yeah. The book, of course, going to be the new meditation handbook. One out for sale out in the reception area. $2. Kind of can't beat that price. Okay. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, wonderful day.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.